Now, a movie that wasn't nearly as bad as I thought it was going to be going into it is Borderlands. Hear me out. I'm not someone who's super invested in the story or the world of Borderlands. I played Borderlands 1, 2, and the pre-sequel. I like the games a lot. I think they're a lot of fun. I want to play Borderlands 3, but the world of Borderlands, the characters and stuff, and the story of Borderlands, to me personally, is kind of just like a nice little cherry on top of the gameplay that is the sundae. Does that make any sense? So for me, I'm going into the Borderlands movie with not like a lot of attachment to these characters or really this world, other than I think the games are really fun. I will say, going into this, I was not very excited for this one because, one, Eli Roth directing. Am I going into Borderlands getting, Hostel Part 1 or Green Inferno Eli Roth, or am I walking in getting Knock Knock Eli Roth? When Borderlands was announced that, hey, it's also going to be PG-13, I went, knock knock Eli Roth. I'm just gonna skip this one completely, especially when the reviews came out. The reviews on this are abysmal. The box office is brutal. Yikes. I started watching the film and I didn't think it was that bad. Now I do want to say one thing is I read in IMDb trivia that apparently there is like some kind of like rated R version of it floating around where it was like much more violent. And I'm just gonna say this: if you flop this hard, just release that rated R one. What's it gonna hurt? You might earn more money, right? When in reading the trivia, I did find out that Eli Roth couldn't come back to do the reshoots. There was like an extensive 2-week reshoot period for the movie. And as you watch the movie, you can tell because there is like 2 different directors in this film. There's like 2 different levels of direction in this film, 2 different levels of quality in this film. And I would really like to know who directed what, because some of the action in this movie is handled insanely bad, like really, really bad. If you want a good example of it, when Cate Blanchett's character Lilith shows up and finally finds Tiny Tina, that whole segment is abysmally directed. It looks so unchoreographed. It's so stiff. Then you have a scene in the movie that is like when they go to the Bloodshots lair. That scene in that movie is actually great. Like that's actually a great sequence for like majority of the film. Now it could be one of those things where it's just a standout in a pretty mediocre movie. Sure, but like I keep thinking about that scene after watching it. Not anything else in the movie, not a single thing about the rest of the movie, but that scene in particular, I keep going back to. Maybe it's because they use Motorhead in the soundtrack. That's probably fair. That is my favorite band. There's like I say black light, but like the come on brain, the absence went too far. Not only did it erase Mousetrap, it erased the English function. Function English, not good.